Hello everybody, my name is Levi Clay and thank you very much for checking out this video. If you are new here, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help the channel. So of course you are here today to learn about Simply Piano and learn what my thoughts are about Simply Piano. But why am I talking about Simply Piano? Levi, you're a guitar player. Yes, I've played the guitar for 20 years and that's been my focus on YouTube for my entire life on YouTube. But in the last 2 years, I started to learn to play the piano, and it's something that I decided to take incredibly seriously because I fell in love with it, guys. I absolutely just fell in love with what you can do at the piano, and it's actually made me regret a lot of my musical decisions throughout my life. I hopefully, as time progresses, I'm going to be able to consider myself a pianist before being a guitar player. It's the instrument that I reach to now, so it's something that I'm extremely passionate about. And about 2 years ago, I did a review of Playground Sessions and Pianote here on my YouTube channel. Of course, you can search those reviews out if you want to check them out. But yeah, things have continued to grow, and now Simply Piano have reached out and asked me if I was interested in doing a review of their app. Now, it's probably worth considering that when I did the Playground Sessions review, I was a customer of Playground Sessions. When I did the Pianote review, I was a customer of Pianote. I've gone on to form a working relationship with Pianote, which is awesome, but when I made those reviews, I had purchased the product, if you like. Whereas in this particular instance, in the interest of disclosure, Simply Piano did reach out to me, so I guess you could say that this is sponsored. They did provide me with access to the app, which was very kind of them, so I could give you my thoughts on it. But I don't want you to think that this is just, paid promotion and I'm not giving you an honest review. I absolutely am. I've put the time into the app. In fact, as you can see here, I've been using the app every single day for over a month now, and I'm continuing to use it so I can get in how everything works. And, to be completely honest, I've also learned some stuff from this. It has improved elements of my playing. So yeah, have to disclose that and all that, but take that on board. So in order to support this review, I have got a unique link for you in the description where you can check out Simply Piano and get a 14-day free trial. That's twice as long as you'd normally get as a free trial. And yeah, if enough people sign up to that, then this review pays me well, which is awesome. So thanks very much to Simply Piano for creating that link for me and for supporting the channel. So let's talk about Simply Piano. Who are Simply Piano? What do they do? And what do I think about the service? Simply Piano, I think it's fair to say they are probably one of the best services on the market for complete beginners at the piano. It's a very easy software to use, very intuitive. It's a visual approach to learning music that works on both tablets and smartphone. You saw the clip at the start where I was showing you my iPad, but you can of course use this on the iPhone, as you can see here. And it gamifies the learning of music, which is something that I'm all very much for. I think when you think about the history of what it means to learn an instrument, it can be very old-fashioned, piano especially. You learn from a teacher and they learn from their teacher, who learned from their teacher, who learned from their teacher. And it's very much this long lineage of, well, you just do it that way because that's the way it's always been done. And while that works, and that absolutely works for people, for every great piano player out there, there's probably 100 who started playing and gave up because they didn't relate to the method. They didn't relate to the put your metronome on and practice your scales. They were looking for something different. So we can deliver those differences now by presenting more fun, visual, gamified versions of playing the piano. So the great thing about Simply Piano is the app listens to you play. So if you have your iPad by your piano or even your phone, when you're playing, the microphone on your iPad is listening and it registers the notes that you are playing. So you can, in theory, just play your piano and it will hear those and tell you that you are playing the correct notes. So you get immediate feedback, which is wonderful. And I had a lot of success with this. I have used the microphone feature most of the time when using the app. When I moved over to chords, I did switch over to using a MIDI cable because I didn't want to risk it not being able to pick up a note in the middle of a chord. So you can connect a MIDI cable to the app so you get then proper feed from your keyboard. Not an acoustic piano, of course, but if you're using an electronic keyboard, you'll get a direct feed into your iPad, which is just, wonderful. So how does using Simply Piano work? Well, as I say, it is very much pitched at the beginner. I've been playing for, as I say, 2 years now. My ability on the piano is definitely, it's not up here, but in terms of the users for Simply Piano, I'm definitely on the upper end of players. I can play through a lot of the stuff quite easily in there because I have taken the instrument incredibly seriously for 2 years. But if you were a completely new student to the piano and you have little to no experience whatsoever, it's really honestly pitched at you. It's pitched at you, somebody who has never played the instrument, literally showing you where the note middle C is. We're talking that level of simplicity in the get-go. Now, when you look through the courses on Simply Piano, they're organized in a really wonderful way whereby they present you with the essentials, the things that you need to learn in order to be able to get on with the courses. But then it branches out and it gives you the choice whether you want to take the course of going for the soloist piano approach or, the thing I found most interesting, the chord playing pianist approach. Now, the difference, of course, between these two things is fundamental to what you want to do as a pianist. What I found from a lot of the materials that I've consumed in my journey to learn the piano is they are primarily focused on the ability to play solo piano. And what I mean by that is you can play some accompaniment in your left hand, you play the melody to the song in the right hand. And I don't like that. That doesn't appeal to me. I'm not interested in being that sort of a pianist. I work as a musician, so what I want to be able to do as a musician is play music behind a singer. I don't need to play the melody. We'll let them play that. And I want to play rich chord voicings and lovely accompaniment patterns to really support a vocalist. So to be able to push you down that route is absolutely wonderful. And as you go down that route, there's a lot of comping patterns that you can delve into, where you can, arpeggiation patterns or rhythmic patterns. And then, obviously, as I say, not too complicated, but definitely get you to help understand how you accompany someone as a pianist versus just doing that soloist thing. So while I have spent a lot of time in the app, it's been primarily on that chordal side of things, which I personally really enjoy. Now, courses are broken down into a series of both exercises, songs, and there are short videos. We're not talking long videos. It's not a video instructional website. It's more of a computer app that allows you to get real-time feedback, but there are short 30-second, minute-long videos interspersed within the courses, so you can see hand posture and you can see visually where on the keyboard your hand should be, but primarily we're focusing on the exercises and the songs. And the compliment that I want to throw in here is that when you are working on songs, there's a vast choice of songs, and the songs that are in the courses tie in effectively, but they're songs that you've heard of. It's not like you're not going to be learning Mozart from day one, because I'm sure you've heard of Mozart, but I'm sure you're probably more interested in playing along to a Madonna song or a song from The Lion King or a Stevie Wonder song. So to be able to present you with those sorts of songs is a really nice approach, and every single one of the songs has their own unique backing track. If I had to throw a tiny little criticism, it's not really a criticism, because they want you to be able to play songs that are harder than you would be able to play right from the get-go. They might play a song where there's a full backing track and you might only be playing 2 or 3 of the notes in there. You're not contributing an entirely self-sufficient rendition of the melody, but you are playing with something, which is definitely fun. Now, of course, it's a very visual approach to learning. You have the scrolling bar, and while there are elements of music theory that are presented and you are encouraged to count and to think about how long beats are, that side of things is not really emphasized too much. And I can't really criticize that too much, because while having a long history as an educator, I look at that and go, you can't teach music without teaching music. I have to be honest and say that counting side of things, the real deep theory side of things and how music works, can often be very off-putting, very, very off-putting for musicians, for aspiring students of music. So I think using something like this where it doesn't place an emphasis on the counting side of things and you are allowing yourself to rely a little bit more visually on the app, but also using your ear, is probably in the long run going to be helping you. But of course, I am saying that coming from the perspective of somebody who can fluently read music, not on the piano, I might add. But yeah, because I have a good understanding of how music works, that's not really a problem for me, but probably worth mentioning. Now, outside of that, there are additional features in the app. There's currently a Christmas challenge that you can get involved on, where there's a selection of Christmas-related tunes, and more are unlocking as the month progresses. I guess I think the most impressive part of the app actually is the play section. So you're doing all of these courses and you think to yourself, well, actually, I would like to learn some songs. I'd like to look at what I want to do. Well, you can do this very easily by clicking on the play button and searching through a massive curated list of songs. And I was looking at these and thinking, wow, seems like a lot of work has gone into creating this. There must be some shortcuts taken somewhere, but there really aren't shortcuts taken. I was genuinely very impressed with this. You can search through the app, find a song that appeals to you, and when you click on it, you're going to find that it presents you with not just the sheet music, that's all there, but it's going to give you breakdowns of each section of the song and how to go about playing them. So it essentially trains you to play each of the songs. It doesn't just present you with sheet music and say, get to work. Though, of course, when using the sheet music, it is all there for you. And the app is listening to what you're doing. So it gives you the sheet music and you can turn it on to listen to you and you can see the notation, you can play the notes. And when you play the correct notes, it will move on to the next part for you, which is just a wonderful, wonderful feature. You can press the listen button and listen to each one of the phrases as well. So you can get a feel for the speed that you should be aiming for or what the melody should sound like if you can't get something quite right. Being able to listen to it is a wonderful, wonderful feature. Then you have the ability to play the full song just in the kind of gamified way that you had it when you started out doing all of your exercises, that scrolling bar of music, which is a nice approach. I like that. And of course, you can change the speed. So if you're struggling with playing a tune, you can bring it down to 60% and then gradually increase your tempo as you get more comfortable with it. These are all just wonderful learning tools that were not available to musicians 100 years ago. And I think the fact that we are so easily able to take advantage of them is something that we should celebrate. We should steer into that side of things. I think it's, absolutely wonderful. There's a huge selection of songs in here. And I guess the other thing I should mention is if you do find a song that you like, it's often presented at various difficulties. So I took a tune from The Lion King. I took Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And that's arranged for the beginner, the intermediate 2, intermediate 3, going up into advanced. There's lots of different versions of it. And although I haven't got that far in the courses side of things, I thought it would be fun to just go, okay, well, I've done the first version of it. Let's try the next version up. And I could push myself and see how complicated I could make things. And when I hit a wall of, I can't play this is a little bit tricky for me, I then had all the tutorials there to help me through it. So honestly, incredibly impressed with what they've got going on here. Now, if I do have to throw any complaints about the app, I think complaints are important, right? I think being able to say negative things show you that when I say the positive things, they are genuine positive things. If I were to throw any criticism in the app, I would say that for me, it's definitely on the beginner side. Now, for you, that may well be a big benefit. But for me, even if I went through everything in the app, I don't think it's going to take me too long, but I have 2 solid years of real serious piano practice and 20 years of studying music behind me. So I don't think that's, fully accurate. It definitely doesn't get into the advanced. If you've been playing the piano for 5 years, it may not be the app for you, but as a beginner, it's easily better than playground sessions. There's no question about that. And if you like the gamified side of things rather than having videos to watch and then copy with no feedback, then in that sense, I guess it's better than piano. I mentioned the kind of criticism over the visual, over the counting side of things earlier. Being a music teacher, that's something that stood out to me. And there's a few other kind of music theory related things. Like, for example, I noticed it used some key signatures occasionally, but there's an Adele challenge in there, playing an Adele song, and I thought I'd take a look at that, and it didn't use a key signature, which meant there were a lot of accidentals, sharps and flats all over the page. And again, being a reader, I looked at that and was like, whoa, this is really overwhelming, and I didn't feel that it needed to be that way. I think that those things can all be improved upon, though. Those are genuinely, I think, the only criticisms I can really levy at it. I think it's a wonderful app. I'm genuinely very impressed at it, and I kind of wish that I had this at my disposal when I started to play. I guess thinking about it a little bit more, it is very much an app that is designed with the visual player in mind. So it is about sheet music. If your goal as a piano player is to be able to read music, then it's definitely going to be the option for you. My goal when I started playing the piano wasn't to read music, because I can already read music. It was to hear music and play it. It was to be able to use my ear. It was to be a jazz player. It was to be an improviser. So in that sense, it's probably not the one. But the more traditional piano approach of learning to read music, it's tip-top for that. So, those are all the things that I can really say about the app. It's fantastic, and you should absolutely go and check it out. Do you have any experience with Simply Piano? If you do, let me know in that comment section below. And if you don't, check out the link in the description. Get a 14-day free trial. Get a 14-day free trial. Get involved. Get involved in the Facebook community. They have a wonderful community on Facebook, like 200,000 members or something like that, and it's pretty active. And there's lots of people in there asking questions and sharing videos of their playing, which is another great way to kind of spur your progress forward, knowing that there's a group of people that are as interested in your journey of playing the instrument that you want to play as you are. So that's Simply Piano. I hope you check it out. As I say, any questions, let me know below. And thank you very much to Simply Piano for reaching out and asking me to do this review. It genuinely was a pleasure. So thanks very much, guys. And who knows, maybe we'll partner up again in future. Much love, and I will see you all for another video very soon. Go do some practice.